I was confused, I was scared, and I was depressed. Hey guys, so my name is Leslie, and this is my coming out story to you guys. When I came out, I was 15. The first person that I ever came out to was my cousin that I work with, and I didn't plan on coming out to my mother right away. I wasn't really ready to come out to anybody, but my cousin is also gay too, so it gave me somebody to be able to talk to and to be able to relate to. And the reason that I actually came out to her was because I used to get picked on in junior high a lot. I believe it was when I was in grade 9. I used to skip school a lot. I would leave my last classes. We would have 6 classes in a day, and I would skip my last 2 classes, and I would just walk down to work at lunchtime. And finally she started questioning me, like, why aren't you in school, and you should be at school, like, why are you here? And I would always come up with lame excuses and say, oh, well, my English teacher got mad at me because I didn't bring my binder to class, or just come up with dumb excuses like that. So I finally came out and I told her because they were going to send me back to school, and I really didn't want to go back. At that point, I was just to the breaking point and didn't really know what to do anymore. So I started walking out back and grabbed my book bag, and then my cousin and my boss had come over to me and said, you know, like, really, why aren't you at school and stuff? And finally I just broke down crying, and I ended up explaining to them, like, why I didn't go to school. And little did I know, she had called my mother and told her, like, you know, that I was getting picked on because I was gay and stuff. And I still hadn't come out to my mother. I wasn't ready to come out to her yet. I wanted to come out to her on my own time and on my own terms and be able to explain it to her myself. Like, I wanted to sit her down and sit my dad down and my sister down and just tell them all separately and whatever, and express my feelings of how I felt about it. At the time, I was really angry that she had told my mother. My mother had came into work and we sat down and talked, and she looked me in the eyes and she said, is this really the life that you want to live? And really, that's a big question to everybody who is thinking about coming out or has come out. Like, is this truly the life you want to live? But the thing you have to think of is, do you want to live your life behind a rock, or do you want to live hiding from who you really are? Like, you don't let people judge you for who you really are. Live your life for you. You might get picked on, you might not get picked on. But I have to say, now when I look back at it, even though I didn't get to have the emotional attachment of actually coming out to my mother, I'm kind of relieved now, because the more I think about it, the more scared I would have been to coming out to my mom. So the more I look at it, the more I'm glad that she did it and I didn't have to do it and actually come out to her, because then I just would have been more terrified, and I probably just would have kept running from it for pretty much as long as what I can. I came out when I was 15, but I kind of knew before then that I was actually gay. The first girl I ever actually had a crush on, I believe it was one of my sister's best friends. I started feeling that I felt differently towards her than like other girls. Like, most of my best friends were girls, but that didn't matter to me. Like, I liked them as a best friend or whatever. When I actually came out to my friends, they would always joke around and say, oh, well, it would be really funny, like, not funny, it would be really great to have a gay friend. And that just kind of got my head spinning even more, like, should I come out to them, should I not come out to them? So finally one day I was hanging out with one of my friends, and I told her, I said, like, you know, I'm gay. And at first she thought I was saying it as a joke and thought I wasn't being serious, but I said, no, like, seriously, like, I want to come out to you, like, you're the first person that I'm coming out to and stuff like that. And at first it was alright, but then it kind of took them a little while to get used to it. Because they would always think, oh, well, you like me, and, like, I don't like that. But straight people have to understand, like, if there's a girl, is she gonna be attracted to every single guy? No, you're not. Straight girls have guys that are just friends. And it's the same way with lesbians or with gays. They can be friends with, I can be friends with girls. I have plenty of friends that are girls that I am not physically attracted to or have emotions for. And there are straight guys that have friends that are just girls and they're just friends. Like, it's, people need to understand the concept that just because I'm gay doesn't mean that I'm gonna like every single girl that I see. Not everybody is gonna be your type, so that stereotype to me is quite ridiculous. The thing that was really hard for me was when I had my very first girlfriend. I had dated guys before. I dated 2 guys before, actually, really. My first boyfriend was when I was in grade 6, I believe. But all we ever really did was play Lego or play video games. We'd play PS2, obviously, because that's what was out at our time. And that's kind of really when I got to thinking, like, you know, I don't really feel anything for him, but I didn't want to question it. Like, I kept pushing that back further and further in my head because I didn't want that to be what would happen. And then I actually ended up leaving him for my best friend's brother. And this is where it's going to get really funny. I left him for my best friend's brother, and we dated for not really that long, because there was a time span in between when after I left my first boyfriend and went with my best friend's brother. There was a little time span in there, so it kind of got my head spinning and, like, you know, do I really want to be with a guy or do I want to be with a girl? Like, I really didn't know. And so anyway, a few months later, I started dating my best friend's brother, and the more I got into it, the more I was like, you know, I really don't think this is for me. Like, I didn't like walking around and holding his hand. Like, I didn't want to kiss him. I didn't want to do anything. Like, to me, considered in the gay world, I am what they call a gold star lesbian. I've never done anything with a guy except for kiss him on the cheek or peck on the lips. That's all I've ever done with a guy. And so then I had left him, and when I was in grade 9, that is when I had my first real serious girl crush. I didn't really think it was going to go anywhere because I didn't know if she was gay or if she was straight, and, you know, I didn't want to come out and ask her because she was my best friend's stepsister, which was my ex-boyfriend's stepsister. So it was kind of awkward there a little bit. Every day at school, we would always give each other a hug, and we would always kind of have like that little flirtation thing there. I didn't really think it was going to go anywhere. Like, I thought she was just like being nice, you know. I'm friends with her stepbrother and stepsisters. It eventually started to go somewhere. The 2 days before my grade 9 graduation, me and my best friend were camping out in her backyard, and it kind of gave me that bonding with her stepsister. We kept becoming closer and closer, and we were building that friendship. And then we started texting all the time, and stuff like that, and then we started dating November 26th when I was in grade 10. Now, the hard part for me was that I was out and I was open about it, and all my friends knew. I'm pretty sure all my family knew by then. And the thing that was hard for me is that her mother didn't know. So we hid our relationship for about 3 to 4 months. That was one of the most important relationships that I've ever had in my life. Like, it truly showed to me who I was and how my life was going to be. Now, I know my advice to you guys is your parents, if they aren't very accepting of it at first, my mom had a little hard time coming around to it, but she came around to it and she was fine. Her thing is I just want you to be happy. I want you to be happy with who you are happy with, and just to be you and live your life the way that you want to. Everybody's parents has their hopes and dreams for their kids. My mom and my dad's dreams for me was for me to grow up, to finish school, to go to college. They wanted me to get married and to have kids and have that good life. Now, the thing to me, and that some people don't understand, is that my life is going to be the same way as if I was with a guy. I've graduated high school. I haven't really done the college part yet, but I'm getting there. I can still get married. It's legal here, so I can get married, you know. And I can still have kids. There's technology nowadays, and my eggs can go with her eggs. I can carry the baby, or she can carry the baby. Yes, we still need sperm. So I can still have kids. There's adoption. There's plenty of kids out there who need people to take care of them. So I guess where I'm coming from is don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do. Be with who you want to be with and live the life that you want to live. Just be the person that makes you the happiest. If you're not happy, if you're with a guy and you're not happy, maybe it's just the guy you're with. Maybe he's just a douchebag or whatever. Or maybe you're not meant to be with a guy. Maybe you're meant to be with a girl. But don't jump right to the conclusion. If you're with a guy and you don't like it, or if you're with a girl and you don't like it, don't jump to the conclusion and be like, oh, I'm gay. Figure out what you want. Don't just come to the assumption. Play around in the field and see what you like better. Just do some testing and see if you like it, if you're a lesbian or if you're gay. Don't just jump right to it. Take your time and come out on your terms and when you're ready. If you're not ready to come out, you're not ready to come out. You need to be comfortable with who you are before you can come out. You need to accept the fact if you're gay or if you're a lesbian. You need to accept that first before you can go and you can tell everybody else. Now, for me, I was confused because I didn't know what would happen. I never thought it could happen or would happen. And I was scared because I didn't know what people would think of it. And I didn't know what would happen if I came out to everybody. And it ended up making me really depressed because I didn't want to lose everything I had. I had some of the best friends that you could ever have. We were always there for each other if we needed anything. So my advice to you actually too would be just come out to your friends first. And if they're not accepting of it, then they're not accepting of it. But if they're truly your best friends, then they're going to love you no matter what, and they're going to be there to support you. And they can give you that moral support so that you can come out to your family and you can come out to everybody that you need to come out with. As far as the bullying, I really only got picked on when I was in junior high, obviously because I dressed like a boy. And I mean, there's numerous amounts of time I've got called a boy. I can't count on my hands how many times I was out in places and I've got called a boy, and it's ridiculous. But people tend to judge you on your looks and your appearance. I mean, I was in a store before, and just because I wear my hat backwards and I look like a boy and whatever, I heard them say on the security in the store, check this camera and blah, 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 blah. And it was really late, and I was really the only one that was in the store. So I was like, oh, okay, so they're going to watch me and they're going to follow me around and see what I'm doing. Really? Just because the way I dress doesn't mean I'm a bad person, but the point I'm getting at here is just be you, be true to yourself, and don't let anybody else tell you what you are and what you are not. You need to come to the conclusion by yourself if you are gay or if you are not. Not everybody's coming out story is the same. Some parents might not be very accepting of it. I mean, my family is a Christian family, and yes, in God's beliefs, there's not allowed to be gay people. And I mean, my grandmother has looked at me and told me, you're going to go to hell because you are gay. Unless you ask for forgiveness, you are going to go to hell and not go to heaven. So that kind of played a toll on me too. But it took her a while. I mean, with the thing for me is with the older folks, you have to think. You need to give them time to come around to it too. So if you're coming out to your grandparents, just be very choosy, like, with how you do it. Just be very careful how you do it, because you have to think, back in their days, being gay wasn't a thing. My cousin that I work with, when she had first come out, and she is 32, I believe, or 30 something, and even back when she was in high school, being gay wasn't cool. Well, I guess you know what I mean. Like, it wasn't very accepting for people to be gay, and people used to get bashed. But everybody now is pretty accepting of me. Every time I see my aunts, they're like, "Oh, do you have a girlfriend yet?" No, I don't. I'm just playing the single field for a while. A couple months ago, me and my girlfriend did break up, and she moved back to where she was from. But, you know, I'm okay with it. I mean, life is life. So, anyway, that is my coming out story. So, if you need any advice or anything, just let me know down in the comments, and I will help you to the best of my ability. Or you could message me, direct message me or whatever. If you need any help, just let me know. And that is my coming out story, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you already haven't, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you liked it, and it will help a lot. But I will see you guys next time with another video. If you have any suggestions of what you would like to see, let me know down below, and I'll see you guys. I kissed a girl and I liked it. Yeah, that's what I did. I told you my coming out story. Let me know if you are a lesbian, or if you are bisexual, or if you are gay. Tell me about your coming out stories down below. I'd love to hear them. Let some people know about what advice you have to offer, and give them some help with their coming out story. I'll see you guys all later.